How are you doing?
So I'm at Lola Strongbrett for That I Always Smile. This is a beautiful show which I adore. It's got cartoon characters from, for example, Popeye and another little character that I can't remember, but she has a brilliant video on the Carl Freedman Gallery talking about her tattoos and how she uses these as references, and also it being a bit more like a graffiti style mixed with oil paint, which you can see here. I also get an element that's Lola in the background in a beautiful pink dress, and I get an element, I feel personally, from looking at their work of a conflict of oil paint and comic and putting it together. And I know they speak about the struggles of classism, and which I really, and working class and human relationships with ourselves. Now I know some of it is meant to be figures strangling another, as well as figures with tension and figures cuddling, but actually in some of the figures I actually almost found it, maybe it's just in the eye of a viewer, but I found some of them maybe a little bit homoerotic, in the sense of like these two figures, I thought, were they a couple, were they embracing each other, not just a cuddle? I love the drippiness of the paint, I love the texture, I love the fluidity, and all these little hands going, it kind of makes me feel like people just powwowing together, and just seeing the texture of the paint, the use of the media, the colour composition is really exciting for me as well. The way the yellow is used with this purple here, the way the pinks are used against the background as well as the actual yellow, it's just a beautiful expression of colour and expression of energy and movement, which you can actually feel. There is a feeling behind our paintings, and even with that brush stroke of the red just shooting across, I really just adore, with what looks like a singular gesture, and then you realise it may have done in a couple, and it's just immediate strokes of expression going into the painting, which I really felt. This was such a beautiful show, and for example this piece, it was just so grand. The scale of this was phenomenal. Like, I just show you walking along, and it was multiple canvases joined together, and some of them you will see the canvases displaced, so they're not exactly looking like one piece, they're up and down, which I love the composition. But in this particular one, taking up the whole length of this wall of the Carl Freedman Gallery, is like a modern day Renaissance painting. I love these ghostly gestures of this little dog kind of character in there as well, and other figures hidden within. I caught some words hidden within as well at one point, or maybe that was just my mind. And then they had sunflowers, which is one of my favourite sunflowers, so I was just very excited by this show. You can hear it in my voice. There's the words that I was talking about. It makes me want to know what they've scribbled out, because I know with my own work sometimes I may paint and then paint over it, and actually will never see the words there, and I've got a feeling that this is a bit of this going on in it as well, just with that blendiness behind the Popeye figures. I feel like there's depth behind those oils, there's things behind the oil. I may be completely wrong, but I just really enjoyed the texture, the movement of the paint, and just the overall feeling. I could imagine these in some pretty grandiose places as great statements. Imagine going into a major hotel or a major gallery or a major restaurant or bar and seeing something here. This would just be phenomenal. This just is such great show-stopping pieces, and I really recommend you go and visit the show. Thank you for watching. And here's me driving back from Margate, one of my favourite places.